Hello everyone, welcome back to the Next Gen Data Aspirant community. Already we are covering finance function series. Apart from that, we started aggregation function series. If you would like to explore finance function series, we are providing the playlist URL in the description box. Please check it out. Coming to our video, as a part of this series, we will cover average, count, max, min, product, sum. If you observe, count has a 9 variation. So we will keep 3 videos so that each video will get 3 DAX functions. So coming to the average, average has 3 variation like average, average A, average X. So let's jump into the practicals like how it will works. So before that, I wanted to show how the data looks. So this is my sample data to work on the average functions. So it has product ID, name, date, amount, boolean, and the blank row. So I'm taking a new tab so that we will explore our average function. Before that, I wanted to show you the official documentation of average. So this is average function. So what is an average function? Returns the average of all the numbers in a column. So I'm repeating, returns the average of all the numbers in a column. What does it mean? If the column have only numbers, then only it returns an average. I'm repeating again. If the column have only numbers, then only it will an average. So coming to the Power BI, and I wanted to create the data here. Like I don't want to here and there jumping. So first I'm adding all the columns to the table chart. If you would like to use matrix, you can also use that one. So yeah, okay. And the date column showing as hierarchy, so I don't want to show hierarchy, so I'm keeping that short date, so I'm removing the date hierarchy, so I'm checking the date. And also there is one more issue, the product ID is aggregating as a count, so I don't want to aggregate the product ID. So right click on the product ID column and select the don't summarize. Again there is one more issue, when we see the data model, right, we do have a 5 product IDs, but here it is showing 4 IDs. So we need to enable show items with no data. So yeah, now it's showing, and I wanted to rearrange the columns as well. Product ID, product name, some amount, date, okay, and boolean. Yeah, fine. Uh, So first we will start exploring with the average function. I'm taking a measure. I'm right rename it as average equal to average of then table name, then the column name, commit the function. So let's see how the number is looking. So I'm taking a card chart, sorry, taking a card chart and taking this newly created measure, and it's showing 2.3443K. So I wanted to show the exact number instead of thousands. So I'm going to the formatting settings and the callout value and taking an average, selecting the measure name, going to the value and keeping the display units as none. So yeah, okay. The number is showing 2425K. So how it is working, whether the average is calculating the complete rows of this data, or like, I mean, the 5 rows, or it is calculating the data which have only rows, right? So I'm taking calculator and the total is 9700 divided by, so if I'm taking all the rows in a data model, so see, let's see how the number will come. I'm taking all the rows in a data set. So it is 1940, right? As I told you. So the average will calculate only on if the rows, like whatever the rows has the value. So here we do have 4 rows. So again, we will calculate the average 9,700 divided by 4. How much? 2425, right? Our average is correct. So let's see, let's take one more example. Now this time, like, I'm taking a product ID. So average AVG1 equal to average, the table name, column name, product ID. Yeah, let's see how it is looking low. So you need to check, right, whether the average is correct or not. Again, I'm taking the calculator. So the total is 1 plus 3, 1 plus 2, 3, 3 plus 3, 6, 6 plus 4, 10, 10 plus 5, 15, right? 15 divided by total, how many rows? The data, 5 rows, right? Divided by 5, so which means 3. This is correct. Okay, I'm taking one more example for the same function average. Let's see whether it is working or not. So this time I'm going to take the boolean, right? I'm creating another function average2 equal to average of table name, the column name boolean, right? So again, I'm committing the DAX function. I wanted to drag this third function to the our visual. So it's giving an error. So let's see the technical details. What it is saying, the function average cannot work with the values of type boolean. What it means, the average function can't work with the boolean type of columns, right? So let's remove this column, remove this measure from a visual. Okay, so how it will work, like how the boolean will, I wanted to check the average of the boolean data type column, right? So let's jump into the another DAX function, right? So there is another type, so average A. So let's see what the official documentation says. Returns the average of the values in a column, handles text and non-numeric values. I'm repeating, average A handles text and non-numeric values. So very good. It will handle the text and non-numeric values. If it has any rules, right? So let's check. So how it will works. The average A function takes a column and average the numbers in it, but also handles non-numeric data types according to the following rules, right? What I before said. It has a few rules, like values that evaluates to true count as 0, which means the average function assumes if the column has true, it will assumes this one as a 1, and if the column has false, then it will consider it as a 0, right? So and then values contain non-numeric text. Let's say non-numeric text, what it means, like a value is also non-numeric text and the empty is also non-numeric text, right? So what, whenever this kind of data available in a column, it will treat as a 0. And even more, if the column have empty, right, if the column have empty text, then also it will consider as a 0. So let's see, explore the average A function. Going to the Power BI desktop, and I'm taking, so let's change this boolean type. I'm rewriting the function AVERAG average function. So if you see, it is saying again, right, returns the average of the values in a column, handles text and non-numeric values. I'm taking the first table name and the column name boolean, right? So I'm taking, and then I'm committing the function. So I'm not getting any error. So of syntax is correct. So let's take one more card chart, and I'm dragging this average function to the card charts. So it is giving 1. Is it correct? Let's see. Is it correct or not? So what it is saying, as per the official documentation, if the column have true, it counts as one. If the column has false, it considered as a zero, right? And even if the column has non-numeric text as zero, if the text has a blank, then it is also zero, right? So let's see. As per these rules, is that average is correct or not? So true, like the column has true, right? It is one, and false, it is zero, and true, it is one. Again, uh, it doesn't have any data, so we won't consider this one. And the final row has false, like which means two false, like two zeros, two trues, two, right? The final result is true. Let's see. Check 2 divided by, so how many rows have data, right? Two rows divided by two. So one, it is correct, right? Uh, if you want to look at it here, right? So I'm dragging into this average function so that you can see how the average a function returns, right? Already I told you, right? True means one, false means zero, true means one. So the total average is one. And is this works on the product name as well, right? Let's check whether it is working on the product name or not. I'm creating one more measure on the product name. Average 3 equal to average a, and then column table name and the column name product name. So yeah, the measure is completed. There is no error, so which means it is correct. So can anyone guess like what it returns, right? What it returns, the result average returns of the product name. So as per the rule, if the column have non-numeric text, it consider as a zero. If the column have contain non-numeric text, contain as a zero, and empty text as a zero. So I'm dragging this function to the this card chart again, so the result is zero, right? So 0 divided by 0, 0, right? So if you want to see how it is returning the values, I'm dragging this one to the visual. See, it returns all the way zeros. So there is a final function, an average x function. You may ask, what is the difference between these two, average, average a, and average x? For numeric values, we used average function. For text values or any type of boolean values, we used average a. And then what is the use of average x? Let's see the official documentation. Whenever you see any DAX function ends with x, which means that is an iterator function. Like what is an iterator function? Iterator function calculates the expression evaluated over the table. I'm repeating again. Iterator function calculates the expression evaluated over the table. Let's talk about the average x function. It calculates the average of expression evaluated over a table instead of returning a single column average. I'm repeating again. It calculates the average of expression evaluated over a table instead of returning a single column result. In simple terms, it performs the calculations each row by row and then return a average. So is there any rules? Let's see. It follows the same rules, which is what the average function have, and we can't include non-numeric values, which means text values or blank values. And there is another rule. If there is no aggregated rows, then it will return a blank, and and the column doesn't have meets the specified criteria, and then it returns a zero. Let's jump into the practical. So I'm using a different data set to show average x function. First, I am going to write a average function. Let's see for the order for average of order quantity. So I'm writing average, only average, not average x. Taking column name order quantity. Okay, there is no error, and I'm taking a card chart and I'm dragging this field to the card. So it is showing 2.25. So let's check this number is correct or not. 1 5 plus 1 6, 6 plus 1 7, 7 plus 2 9. 9 divided by how many rows? We do have a data 4 rows divided by 4. So 2.25. Okay. Average average function returns the correct average, and then we can try with the average x whether it is returning the same number or not. Average x as percentage, we need to provide this table and then column name, mm, order quantity, right? Okay, I'm committing this measure. Okay, we didn't get any error. Then I'm dragging this average x to the card chart. Okay, it is also returning the same average. Then what is the difference between this average and average x, right? So yeah, okay. Then I will show the difference in the average x. Okay, I'm writing another measure average x, then sales table, sales data as percentage as a table, and then expression, right? So I wanted to see sales amount average. Currently, we don't have a sales amount, right? Sales amount is nothing but list price multiplied by the order quantity. Currently, we don't have such kind of column exist in our data set, right? So I'm writing an expression list price multiplied by order quantity. Okay, I am going to commit the measure. Let's see, is it throwing an error or not? Okay, it doesn't return any error, and I'm dragging into the card chart. So it returned a 78.73. I am not sure whether it is correct or not. Let's check. So for this, I am going to write in a calculated column to check this average sales amount average is correct or not. Sales amount equal to list price multiplied by order quantity. Okay, then I am dragging into this table chart, and then I'm going to calculate, right? 314 divided by 91 divided by how many rows we have? 4 rows. Okay, 78.73 round figure. Yeah, that's correct, right? So this is the difference. This is the difference. Like we can provide an expression, like any type of expressions we can provide under expression as per syntax, right? So this is main advantage of the average x. Thank you for watching. We will discuss about count x in our next video.